Welcome to the Studio Chat podcast. My name is Barbara Thompson. Each week I'll be bringing you a self-care expert or a message to help you to discover how to live your best life and understand your mind-body connection. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let the Studio Chat begin. Hey guys, I want to welcome you to this episode. I am so excited to have Kara joining me today on this episode, and it's all about, this woman is, in my eyes, a superwoman. She inspires me, and I will tell you a little bit about why I have invited her onto my podcast today and why and how I have known her. But I just would love you, Kara, to start off by sharing with my listeners today, because some of them are in Australia and New Zealand and worldwide. They're listening to this. Can you share with some of my listeners a bit about you and where you're from?
Yep. Hi guys, my name is Kara. I'm from Auckland, and I now live in Hawke's Bay, Hastings, which is in New Zealand. I've been living here for 6 years now. I have 5 children. I am a business owner of a spray tanning business. I am also a Hawke's Bay advocate for Hawke's Bay business for our region. But it doesn't stop there. I am also the ambassador for F45 Hastings as well. On top of that, I coach 2 schools, which is primary and intermediate for netball. And I am 33.
You see, guys, I just got goosebumps when I said she's a powerhouse. I absolutely mean it in every single way. Now, I want to share with everyone, Kara, why I think you're so inspirational and why you're so special. And I met Kara in a job I was working in New Zealand where I was head of marketing. And I met her, we were working it out this morning, and we couldn't work. We're like, how long have we known each other for? But I think it was around 2010-ish, right? So, and I worked with her probably for about 5 or 6 years. And in that time, it's interesting, I was watching her from afar, but if you've ever been in a management position or you've hired staff before, there's 2 types of people, in my opinion. You get the ones that arrive on time, leave on time, have all their breaks, do the bare minimum, don't ask questions. Like, it's good. They turn up and do their job, right? Then you get these little shining stars like Kara, who you know that they're different, you know they're special. You give them something to do, or nothing's ever a problem, and you just give them something to do, and she's like, yeah, cool, no worries. Even if she didn't know how to do it, she'll just find a way. But when she would come back to me with certain things, and she wasn't even in my team, just sometimes I needed help with something. I'd be like, oh, Kara, can you help me with this? Yep, sure, no worries, Barbs, I'll do it. And she'd come back, and this happened multiple times. Oh, here, Barbs, here's this. But hey, I also thought of this. What do you think? And yeah, what do you think of this? And maybe we could do this. And she'd go above and beyond. And then if she had nothing to do in her department, she'd walk down to mine and go, oh, is there anything I can help you guys with? I mean, what kind of person does that? Like, that's why I know I had to have you. As soon as I started my podcast, I had to have you on here, Kara. And the reason why is you inspire the shit out of me. You are so powerful and strong that you do not settle. You want a better life for yourself, however that looks to you. You want a better life for your children. But look at all the things you just told me that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes think, oh my God, am I taking too much on? But then I just carry on.
It's like mind-blowing, and I love your mindset, and I love like the aura that you have about you, that you're just so giving and you're so loving, and you just keep going. Like, how do you juggle everything?
To be honest, that's the reason why I started my own business, is so that I can juggle things. You know, like when we're working together 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, I couldn't do what I'm doing now. There was just no way. A lot of like my son, who I had at the time, he missed out on a lot. I missed out on a lot because I was just too busy, focused, and working a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job. Whereas now having a business, I feel you could book yourself out for whatever comes up, sporting events with your kids, going to assemblies when they're receiving certificates or scholarships or whatever it may be. I truly believe if I didn't have my business, I wouldn't be able to juggle it. The business is what gives me, I don't know, it gives me time for my kids and to allow me as a mum to be there for them. So I'm not missing out on time. Time's the most precious thing for me, for my babies, because they grow up too fast. And I miss it with my son. And I don't want to do that with my girls.
Yeah. But it takes a special... How did you start your business? Like, what gave you that? As a business owner myself, I know you have good days and bad days, and you have those days you go, oh, I can't do this anymore. But, what drives you, or what drove you to open your own mobile spray tanning business?
Well, it was when I was studying, I thought, I need to do something besides being a student. So I thought, what can I do? And I thought outside the box. I thought, look, we'll do spray tanning because I loved spray tanning. And I looked around, did my research, and I thought, no one's mobile. We'll go mobile. We'll do something mobile. And so I started off doing mobile. I started spray tanning where I was studying as well, getting the experience. And then when I graduated 2 years later, I said to my tutor, look, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to start the business up as a business or do I go with someone else? I said, because I didn't study for 2 years just to do spray tanning. And she said to me, you're good at what you do. I would suggest that you carry on doing what you do. Your kids are still young. In future, you can go off and you can work with someone else if you want to. But she said, it'll probably be hard when you've been working for yourself for so long. I graduated in April, and I graduated in March, and I launched the business in April. And I kind of just went in and done it. And I thought, look, there's no point sitting around, what if, just get in there and do it. And I done it, and it has been the best thing for me.
Just for those that are listening, what were you studying at the time?
I was doing my diploma in beauty.
Okay.
So I'm qualified in all treatments.
So guys, did you just hear when we first met Kara, she just told us what she's doing. So on top of everything she's currently doing, she's also a qualified beauty therapist. Like, we'll just chuck that in there as well, right?
Yeah.
And I love, I can just listen to you all day. And I just think with having a business and as a mum with 5 kids, did you have anything like the imposter syndrome, which is when in your head you're like, no, my kids come first. I'm feeling a bit selfish. I need to spend all my time with my kids. Like, how do you manage, running a business and it not taking over, feeling selfish that you might be doing something for yourself?
That's a tricky one because my kids always come first. So if something was up, I would book myself out. So I'm always there with my kids. I guess I don't really experience that because I do book myself out when I need to. Because I got to remind myself, it's the whole reason why I started the business is for my kids, so I can spend more time with them. So if anything does come up, I do book myself out because they are my first priority. I don't want to miss out on that time.
Yeah. And you just find that you could have easily stayed in the 9 to 5 because it was comfortable and it was easy and you get the paycheck every week. But was there like a burning desire? Or was there something in your gut that was like, nah, this is not for me anymore?
What wasn't for me? Like
so you know how you could be doing a 9 to 5 job now? What was it? Was it a voice that you heard, or was it just a feeling in your gut that was just like, no, because it takes a special someone to go, I'm going to start my own business. I'm just going to go mobile and see how I go.
So I looked back and I thought, man, my son, like I was a young mum. So my son is 18 this year. And I just thought, shit, he's an adult and I've missed out on all those years. Like, I don't want to do that with my girls. I don't want to do that with my girls. So that was my fire, is looking back thinking, man, I've missed out on so much. I've missed out on so much. Like getting, working 9 to 5, and you're going to get that same paycheck every week is great. And in a business, it's not like that. You have your good weeks and you have your bad weeks, and then you have COVID, and then you start thinking, you start doubting yourself, like, oh my God, is business the right thing for me? Am I made for this? But just looking back and then realizing why you started what you're doing now.
And what do you think drives you? Like, I know it's your children, definitely.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that drives you to live the life you do? Because you're constantly getting out of your comfort zone. You, someone that I've known you for a long time, and I've seen you from afar, and I've worked with you, and we're still friends now, and I still watch and see all these amazing things you're doing. You don't sit still, but you're the first person in a room, someone's like, oh, who wants to do this? You're like, me, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a crack. That's not what most people do. Most people want to hide. They want to run. They want certainty. They want to be comfortable. So how do you, what drives you? Is there anything else that you can think of? I know it's your children.
It's growth, personal growth. I'm a big believer that you can't carry on what you're doing if you want to grow. For you to grow, you need to get up. I believe you need to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For you to grow.
Is there anything that you can think of, and it's okay if there's nothing that comes to the top of your mind right away, but is there a time when you felt uncomfortable and thought, oh my God, like, here we go, I'm just jumping in?
Because I've been, like I said, I'm the ambassador for F45 Hastings, and I've been there for nearly 3 months now, and I remember going to walk into the gym, and I thought, oh, even though they were my clients and I've spray tanned them, it was a new environment for me, and my fitness level wasn't quite up there, so that was uncomfortable walking in. But once you get through those doors and once you make that first step, you're just going to keep going, and it's good for you.
So what pushed you to keep going? Because most people I know might have done the first workout and probably a little bit sore from the first workout. And then we all have good days and bad days where we don't want to train. But what do you think? Do you give yourself an option? Before you walk into F45, do you go, oh, I'm just going to go? Like, is there anything that you can share with someone that might be listening to this now that is thinking, yeah, I want to prioritize my health and fitness, or I would like to go to a gym, or I've never been to a gym? What's some advice that you could give them, like you said, as you walk through the doors? Is there any tips that you can give someone?
You've just got to, honestly, for me, I just used to go, I get up in the morning and I know I'm going to go. And because you've booked yourself in, that keeps you accountable as well. So you're booked in, and you don't want to unbook, so you just book. You keep your booking and you go in. And then I think, look, if I give up now, you'll work that whole day for nothing. You know what I mean? So you've gone in, and it's like if you stopped and started back, you're starting from scratch again. You've got to do that whole process again. So my one bit of advice is just keep going with whatever you're doing, even if it is outside your comfort zone. Keep going, because that's where your growth is going to happen.
And how does it feel after you've done a workout?
For me now, so like I've said, I've been there for nearly 3 months. If anything, it's been a huge mental game for me. So it's helped me with my mental health. So I go in there and I work out, and it's like you forget about your bookings, you forget about your clients that you've got that night, or you forget about, okay, I need to order this stock in, or the kids have got this and this. It's a place where I feel like, for me personally, as I go in, and it's a 45 minutes to an hour where I get to concentrate on just me. And instead of focusing on everything else, you've got all your thoughts in your head, you're focusing on what you're actually doing, whether that be cardio or weights. So everything's just blocked out, and it's time for you.
How great is that? Because a lot of people associate, yes, when you train, yes, when you do any type of resistance or cardio work, your body can change, and it does change. It gets healthier, it gets stronger, but a lot of people associate the gym with, I just want to lose weight.
Yeah.
And look, yes, that can be a really big part of it. But I think the bigger part of it is consistency, but also with your mental health. And like you said, it's your time and you can focus on whatever rep you're on, whatever functional movement you're doing. But I think it's just, guys, if you are listening to this, again, I want you to know that when you do any form of exercise or fitness, it's a great way of looking at it, that you're moving your body. So when you're older, you can pick up the box, you can pick up your kids, you can, like, functional movement is you can move your body when you get older. But a lot of people are just so programmed to think a gym is just about weight loss.
Yeah.
And you have to look a certain way to even walk into a gym.
Yeah.
And yeah, it can be an intimidating environment.
Very. And I remember my first day, I actually spewed up. I was that unfit that I spewed up, but I was just like, look,
Oh, yuck.
Walk through the door now, we've got to keep coming back.
That's a sign. Yeah, I have done that quite a few times, and it is the worst feeling in the world when it's almost like you overtrain a little bit and you throw up. That's, yep, I can put my hand up and say I've been there, done that, and it's just horrific.
And even though I've only been there for 3 months, like, my whole mindset's changed. Like, I think too, like, it's not about the weight loss or the muscle gain or whatever most people go to the gym for. I think, like, my son's 18, like, another 10 years, who knows, 5 years, I might be a grandmother. I still want to be fit and healthy. Like, I want to be able to get up and go to those sport games and run around with your mokos and your grandchildren and do things with your kids that, we go to the park and I'm there catching the ball and playing ball with them. I'm not a parent that sits there on the seat and watches their kids. So, being active and healthy for your children so that you're more involved with them. Mm-hmm. You're not one that sits on the sideline and watches. You're actually in there with them.
And what I hear from that too is what you brought up earlier about time. So you're actually spending quality time with your children, but moving your body with them and being a kid with your kids. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's so priceless. And there was another thing I wanted to ask you too, was in your life, if please feel free to share whatever comes up for you when I ask you this, is have you had any challenges or anything that comes to mind that you would like to share today? And if so, how did you work through that challenge?
I think my biggest challenge, one of them was when I moved away from Auckland, my hometown, and I moved to Hawke's Bay here in New Zealand. That was a huge challenge for me because Auckland was all I even knew. They were my people, they were my surroundings. That was definitely my comfort zone. Moving outside, moving away from home, that was hard because I didn't know anyone here. I didn't have friendships. I was still young, and I'm very social. So I love going, spending time with friends and stuff. So that was a big challenge for me. And I just knew when I saw my kids excel in school, I actually stayed here for them. That was the only reason why I was here, was for them. Until I look back now and I just think I love it here. Like, I don't have any plans on leaving here, but that was a huge challenge for me, being so young, moving away from home. But there were a lot of distractions there for me as well. So coming here, moving to Hawke's Bay here in New Zealand, even though it was a lonely path, it was definitely a successful path.
Yeah.
Because
when you talk about being lonely and stuff, there's people that can look like they're surrounded by a lot of people and they can be lonely. And there's people like you and I who have decided, right, for whatever reason, let's give it a crack and live somewhere that we've never lived before. And hey, let's move somewhere where we don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I say it out loud and think, oh my God, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Probably, but that's okay. But you can see that lonely, like, there's been times when I've moved, like you, to a new place. I don't know anyone and you feel lonely. But I know that there's people out there that have so many people around them and they still feel lonely. So for you, in those moments where you do feel lonely, Do you have any like self-care tips, or do you do anything to help you when you do feel lonely?
Self-care tips. You know, self-care for me, is going to the gym. It's going to get a pedicure, or going to get your lashes done. I just take time out for myself if I feel like that. Have a breather, but say to myself, we've got this. We've got this. And I just do whatever makes me feel happy, puts me at ease.
That's so beautiful, because you said, we've got this. So you've got your own back.
Yeah.
Through everything, no matter what gets thrown at you, I hear constantly from you time and time again, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but I'll just do it. I will find a way. You push through.
And I think the biggest push I done as well was when I studied. I was a young mum, so I had my son when I was 15. So I did NCA level 1, and that was me for school. Wasn't really an achiever at school. And so when I went and studied, that was another big challenge as well, because I was like, oh gosh, I'm not academically very smart. But I was passionate about beauty. That was my passion. And so I thought, look, if I don't go and study now and don't do what I love to do, I'll never do it. I'll never do it. So when I went and studied, I did struggle a bit with the science side of things, because we had to learn science with doing your diploma in beauty as well. But I guess how I coped through that was just, I met a lot of women there that actually helped me through my studies, and also the tutors which helped me. And who would know, a mum of 15 got a diploma.
How awesome. And how do you feel about that?
Oh, it's one of my biggest achievements. I mean, even for my family as well, when I walked on that stage, I was pretty proud. Pretty proud.
It's an understatement, girl. I think that's so awesome. And actually, something that's blaringly obvious when we talk about self-care, I am an avid lover of spray tans, and you obviously have that business. How good is it? How good do you feel when you've had a spray tan?
See, when I have a spray tan, I look at myself, look in the mirror, and then I'm like, ooh, my skin's nice and even. So I've got an olive complexion already, so I am olive, but there's parts where the sun don't see. So it's just a real confidence booster. A real confidence booster when you spray tan. You look in the mirror, you stand there naked, and you think, shit, look how good I look. Look how good I look. It makes you even. It gives you your body a definition. You can see the definition of your body, and it's just, like I said, confidence booster, majorly.
It makes you feel really good, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I get clients that might, clients that might book in for events, and then you get your regulars that book in once or 2 weeks, and that's purely why they do it. It's because it's a confidence booster for them. They look in the mirror and they see themselves and they feel good. They look good, they feel good.
Yeah. And I know that we've spoken about it before, when you said that you notice your clients when they first come in, and then when they leave, they hold themselves differently. They look at themselves, they feel, they feel beautiful. When I spray tan them, and then I say to them, have a look in the mirror, see if there's any areas you want to go over. And without them even had to say anything, you just see their smile, and the smile says it all. Yeah, it's such a cool thing. Yeah. I love spray tans before spray tans were a thing. Like, I have been fake tanning myself for over 20 years. Yeah. Because I had someone say to me the other day, oh, you've got a nice color. And I went, oh my gosh, this is fake tan. And they're like, really? And it made me think, she was 19. So I've been doing fake tanning as older, I'm been tanning longer than she's been alive. But I remember all the days of me getting so much stick because when it wasn't as big as what it is today, and no one tanned, and I would go to meetings and I would have black knuckles. I would have, you might remember, Kara, like there's many times I would come into work and my tan would be patchy, or because I'm an over tanner, so I've never found a tan that's dark enough for me. And anyone that has listening to this that you spray tan me before, you'll be like nodding your head when I say this. I'd be like, give me the darkest tan, like the darkest one you've got. Yeah. And apart from when I did my bodybuilding, no one could do dark enough, because I'd be like, oh, I want a tan. I don't want this natural stuff. Like but I just remember in so many meetings, I remember one of my bosses once, I had like a big tan mark here, and he kept looking at it, he goes, Barb, what's that? And I went, oh, it's a spray tan. And he's like, what's that? Yeah. And it was such a foreign thing of tanning or like caring for yourself. And because it was so not heard of 20 years ago, I'd get a lot of stick for it. And people would tease me for it, and they'd be like, are you all right? Like, is there something? And I was like,
well, I never spray tan before I started beauty. We were doing a part of our training, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll have a turn. And when I jumped in and came out, I was just like, oh my gosh, who knew? Like, for me being olive, I would have felt this good and like look this good. And you look in the mirror, you're like, okay. And then it became addictive. I was like, all right, we're on something here.
Then you started a business.
I started a business. I was like, okay, now we know what we're gonna do.
How awesome is that? I just think, if you've never, and also to those ladies that are listening, that they say to me, oh my gosh, how can you be naked in front of someone? Oh, I do have a funny story. You'll find this funny. Is back in the day in Ponsonby in Auckland, there used to be some automated self-tan booths. And I thought, you know me, I'll give anything a go. So I went in and I read all the instructions back to front, okay, and you had to put one lotion on, then the cap on, and then you had to do these different positions and poses. So I read everything back to front like 2 or 3 times, did everything in the right steps, and as I hit the button, it goes 3, 2, 1, and it was the voice, and then it sprayed. But as it sprayed, I laughed and I opened my mouth. If you've ever seen the episode of Friends with the spray tanning booth, and he gets the wrong side every time, I was literally like Ross. So I was standing there, had my pose, and I was laughing, and then I was choking, and then that took my concentration span away, and then it went, and it's going again, whatever the voice said. And you're supposed to turn around, but before I turned around, I was too busy laughing, going, oh shit, I've got to turn around. My spray tan was so stuffed, and I inhaled so much tan, and it was all up my nose. I'm sure I had a couple of gallons of spray tan, and that was the automated one. Like, it's come such a long way. But to all you ladies that say, oh my God, I don't know how you do it. I can't stand naked in front of someone. You can wear a little crop top, you can wear little undies. But from like you having your own business and seeing all the different bodies and stuff, you don't really notice it, do you?
I get clients all the time that say to me, like first timers, say, oh, what do I wear? And I just say to them, you wear whatever you feel comfortable wearing. I'm here for you. Whether that be boy shorts, whether that be a G-string, whether that be bra or no bra, and then whether that be someone that's confident and just takes everything off. Like, whatever you feel comfortable in is how you get spray tan.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother you as a business owner and as a spray?
Not at all.
No?
Oh, not at all. I even get some ladies that go, oh, I've got my period, so mind if you see the string? And I'm like, don't worry about it. We're a woman. We're okay.
See, and we need to help each other. Like, a lot of women this is just why you inspire me, and I'll always follow you and always, I'd be interested in see what your next move is and what you're doing, because you support other women. You help other women, and I think all of us need to remember that we are all women, and why do we have to be jealous of each other or be backstabbing or like, why can't we all just get on? And that's what I love about you, is that you welcome anyone, you can talk to anyone, you make everyone feel comfortable. And I think that's a message for everyone listening. Like, can we just all get on? Like, life is hard enough. Why, as females, why can't we support each other? If you're doing an amazing thing,
women empowerment is huge.
Yeah,
women should empower other women.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, it should just come natural. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to guess or think about it. Women empowerment. Yeah, I'm big for that. Yeah, really am.
Because it makes a difference when you have someone that supports you and that believes in you. You go far. You know, just it really gives you that drive. Or to hear a story of someone maybe listening today, and you know, if someone's listening today and they might be going through a bit of a tough time right now, what have you got any advice for someone that, you know, if they're going through a tough time, what can they do?
Yeah. So I've been through a few obstacles in life. Currently still am going through one now. And everyone was saying to me, how are you so positive with what you go through? And it's your mindset. If you want a good day, you have to have a positive mindset. You can't lead a good day on negativity. If you wake up and you're feeling a little bit down, you know, straight away think about 10 things that you're grateful for. What's something positive that's happened in your life? It could be the simple things like having a roof over your head that sometimes we take for granted. If you start focusing more on the positive, you'll have better days. 100%. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And it's always the little things. Me and the kids and stuff, we used to do, and my partner, we would do gratitude. So every day we'll say something that we're grateful for. And sometimes the kids will go, oh, I don't know about today. And I'll say, what about the food on your table? What about the clothes on your back? Sometimes it's the little things that we take for granted. And if we just stop and think and took a moment to realize what we actually do have, then maybe our negative will go into a positive and we'll have a good day, good mindset.
I feel like if I had a mic right now, I'd drop the mic. That was total mic drop moment, like a total way to you know, have this podcast come to a close. And wow, just Kara, just keep being you and don't let anyone dim your light. But I know there might be some people that are listening now and might want to follow your business page. Where can people find you?
So I've got Instagram and Facebook. It's Lavish Beauty, mobile spray tanning. And the location, because I always get people from overseas, from Hastings overseas, that message me for bookings, and we're actually Hastings, New Zealand.
Oh, where is there another Hastings?
Yeah, over in some part of America.
Okay.
Hastings. So I get messages on Instagram. Hi, can I please book in? And I'm like, sure. What's your address? And then it's like, oh no, we're in New Zealand.
Come for a spray tan, but it's a bit of an expensive one.
Yeah. So Lavish Beauty, mobile spray tanning, Hastings, New Zealand, Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. And so if you are living in New Zealand, or you go to New Zealand for a holiday, or you're down Hastings, Napier Way, please check Kara out. She is amazing. Yeah. And yeah, I think
just one more thing too before we close up. If there's anyone out there that is listening and you are in New Zealand, anywhere in New Zealand, and you're wanting to start a business, please reach out to me because, like I said, I'm the advocate for Hawke's Bay for starting small businesses for our region, but I can definitely put you in the right direction throughout New Zealand. There are free courses that we do, which is 2 weeks free courses. The first week is Zoom, via Zoom meetings, and the second week is an in studio person, face to face, and it is all free. It is sponsored by your council and MSD. So yeah, if anyone wants to thinking of starting a business, get in contact with me and I can lead you in the right direction, and it's free.
Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Studio Chat podcast. It's been so great to see you, and I love catching up with you, and I'm sure this won't be the one and only time that you're on here. So thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Babs.
Thanks. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it has inspired you on your self-care journey.
please feel free to share this with a friend and subscribe over on Apple Podcast. I really love hearing your feedback, so guys, please feel free to write a review on Apple and let me know which part of this episode resonated with you the most. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. To find out a bit more about Self-Care Studio or the Studio Chat podcast, head over to my Instagram page, self_care_studio, or on my website, selfcarebybarbarathomson.com.au. Really look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Look after you, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!